Suffering. Let's start with what is suffering. Now, there's a difference between pain and suffering. Even lawyers know this, because when you go to court, you can sue for pain and suffering. It's two different things. Now, pain is what the nerves of the body feel. Suffering comes from the mind. It's a mentally created agony, misery, hurt of the mind. Imagined, really. And we do it to ourselves unknowingly because of ignorance and illusion primarily. Now, even the Buddha said in the Four Noble Truths that, life is dukkha, which is the word they use, which is suffering but more all-inclusive. So it's not just, mental agony, but also dissatisfaction, discontent. Even that would rank as suffering. And so, in Buddhism they say enlightenment is a cessation of suffering. Within the Four Noble Truths, one of the primary things is there is an end to suffering. There can be an end to suffering. And so the end of suffering is seeing through the illusions of the mind, dispelling ignorance. This is what frees us. Well, that's not maybe quite right. It doesn't free us per se, because one of the illusions of the mind is the me. This personal me and all the stories. And it's the personal me and all the stories we create, which is the foundation of our suffering. For example, if someone slaps you across the face, there's the initial of pain, but after that, there's all this mentation, all this mental stuff that's created. Why'd they hit me? They shouldn't have done that. How dare they? And it goes on and on and on. And we agonize over what had happened. And that's where suffering isn't about the now. Suffering is always about past and future or pure imagination. So something happened, and we're still mentally agonizing over it. Or something may happen in the future, and we're mentally agonizing over it. And that's the foundation of suffering. And so the end of suffering, for some of the pointers for the end of suffering, one of the pointers would be present. Being 100% devoted to the experience of now. Not paying the mind any mind. Not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future or imagining, just being now. Another pointer to the end of suffering is, we need to accept the certainties of life. We need to accept reality, the what is. One of the main stressors, stress, is this resistance to what is. Something is happening and we're resisting it, and we just start feeling this resistance and stress and tension builds. And so it's accepting what is as it is. And so one of the what is to accept are the various certainties of life. For example, all is change, all is temporary. Everything will pass one day. We resist this. We don't want things to pass. We want to keep things forever. We don't want to die. We don't want people we know to die. We don't want our possessions to leave. It goes on and on and on. But everything will pass. And we have little to no control over when or how things pass. And as long as we deny this, we suffer. So, we get a new job, momentarily might be happy, but then we start worrying, well, what if I lose my position? What if something happens where I get demoted or fired? And what if a recession hits and I lose my great paying job? Just constant worry, anxiety, guilt, shame. Most of the negative emotions are basically forms of suffering we do to ourselves due to basically ignorance and illusions of the mind. And the illusions of the mind are built by the thoughts, the concepts, and the beliefs we have. And as long as they're uninvestigated, we continue to suffer. And there is a possibility, though. There is an invitation. The invitation is that if we really look at what we're doing and what's happening, we can understand what we're doing. Because fundamentally, no one hurts themselves on purpose. We don't do things not in our best interests, unless we think there's a greater gain, you know. But fundamentally, if we see that there is no gain and there's no point in or advantage to hurting ourselves, we don't hurt ourselves. And that's what understanding brings, is in seeing what we're doing to ourselves, we may stop doing it because we just don't see a point in it anymore. And so I invite you to check into your own thoughts and suffering and look at how you're doing it to yourself and have hope that you don't have to anymore. Thank you.